Hi everyone, my name is Ali Ehsan. I'm a registered migration agent at Aussizz Group. I'll be taking today's session where I'll be mostly answering your questions related to recent updates. I will also be discussing about some of the recent trends that we have seen in last couple of invitation rounds. Now, we have some data, but of course, most of the states, we are still waiting for more information from other states. But I'll share with you recent updates and what is going on in terms of basically, recent invitation rounds. And then the main purpose of today's session is to basically answer your questions related to any migration related issue that you have. If you have questions related to state sponsorship, nomination, skilled visa, or any other visa, you can leave your questions in the comment section of Facebook or Instagram, wherever you are, whichever channel you are watching us on. And I'll be answering those questions once I have briefed you about today's topic. So let's get started. So basically, we are in mid of October. So generally what we see is that from what we have seen is most of the states, they have either, released their requirements or they have started invitation rounds as well. Now, on top, I would say is currently Western Australia and Canberra, and as they both have conducted multiple invitation rounds. Now, Victoria also has conducted invitation round for subclass 190 and 491, while we are still waiting for NSW to start inviting applicants for both subclasses, either 190 or for 491. Now, like other states, we had updates. For example, Northern Territory, they got very less seats, so they closed early on. But I believe, and then Queensland, they released their requirements, so there are updates from their side as well. So this is something that today's discussion will be all about. Now, starting with WA's invitation round that took place just a few days back. Now, in which we have seen applicants getting invitation through various occupations. Now, what we have seen is Western Australia has given out more invites for subclass 190. They have specifically targeted occupations which were in their graduate stream and which were meeting the graduate stream requirements, and then Schedule 1 and Schedule 2. Now, specifically speaking about Schedule 2, applicants such as, even hospitality surprisingly got many invites, like cafe managers, cafe restaurant managers, chefs, cooks, and then we saw invitations for building construction sectors again at lower points towards 65 and 70. And then what we have seen in this round is that 190 was preferred over 491. Now, Western Australia, even in past year, we saw that in some rounds they gave out more invites for 190, and then in other rounds they gave more invites for 491. So that's very common. So if in case you were waiting for 491 and you did not receive an invite for 491, don't worry, just wait for few more rounds, and hopefully your turn will come, and hopefully WA will pick more 491 applicants. Now, for 491, we received few invites for even mechanical engineering as well. So, although that is not in building construction sector, but we saw that WA still picked them up. Then coming towards Victoria, now Victoria is focusing on their target sectors, their critical sectors, but we have seen invitations for some non-critical occupations as well. So such as marketing specialist with, of course, with higher points, And then we have seen the good thing is that they are giving out invites to ICT occupations and across the board, depending on your profiles. But of course, if you are in Victoria, you will need, depending on which sector are you in, if you're not in health sector, or if you're in a different sector which is not in their priority or a target sector, then you'll need slightly higher points as compared to other applicants. And salary will also play important part in this case. Now, NSW did release its requirements a couple of weeks back, where NSW announced that your occupation basically, so what they did is that they did not publish any specific occupation list this financial year. If your occupation is on Department of Home Affairs occupation list, you are eligible, which means all occupations which are there for 189, 190, 491, you can apply under all those occupations, whether it's in the long-term list or short-term list. You can go for subclass 190 if it is in or 491, and if it is only in regional list, you can still go for 491 as of now. Now, we do not have any specific update related to 491 yet from NSW, but as far as 190 is concerned, if you are in health sector, you are in infrastructure sector, you are in ICT sector, they mentioned about agriculture as well. And if you are from these particular sectors, then NSW will prefer you over others. Now, the criteria is pretty much same as it was last year, which is that they look into your occupation first, then English, and your skilled employment. So EOIs will be ranked on these criteria. Now, NSW has once again clearly said that you need to have separate EOI for subclass 190, and you must select NSW only. Now, if you are lodging EOI and you are intending your state of residence, or you are selecting multiple states in that EOI for subclass 190, NSW will not accept such EOIs as per them. Same rule was there last year, but we saw few invites even without that. But then this time they have clearly indicated again that they will not invite such applicants. So you have to be very clear on that. Now, when the next invitation round will be, that is a very good question, but then no one has an answer to it yet. Initially, it was announced that there might be a round before 30th September, which didn't happen. But then at least we saw updated requirements, and that gave surety to many applicants who are in ICT, health, or infrastructure, or even in agriculture sector. Okay, so all those applicants who are in these sectors or education sector, they all will be getting preference. Okay, now if you are from these sectors, you are living in NSW for past 6 months, you should be I would advise you to stay here, wait for invitation rounds before you make a decision to relocate somewhere. If you have very less points, still I will advise you to wait here for some time and see how the trend will go, and then make a decision if you want to go somewhere. Now, in South Australia, there was a change because they got less seats this financial year. So we got some, different requirements this year as compared to what was there in last couple of years. And the most prominent requirement, or which was removed from South Australia's occupation list, was that outer regional. So previously, if you worked in outer region for 6 months, you were eligible for 491. Now, that work could have been in any skilled field. Now, that particular requirement has been changed and updated. Now, they are not nominating applicants under that stream anymore. Okay, so, and Queensland, again, they are offering nominations or to applicants from all occupations. If you are from applying from offshore, then there is a separate list. Otherwise, if you are onshore, you can access any occupation which is on Department of Home Affairs skilled list. Now, that's pretty much it from different states. And then quickly about basically Canberra as well, ACT. Now, what we have seen is in last round that took place in October, like a few days back, Canberra did invite applicants mostly for subclass 491. Okay. Now, maybe that's because of the number of seats that they have, but then they did invite most applicants, or I would say kind of all applicants 491 as per the published results. Now, few of the occupations they did receive invite at 65 points, on which had 65 points on metrics. ICT applicants did receive invites at 90, 95 points mostly. Engineers, few of them did receive invite at 70 points around, and medical professions did receive invite at lesser points, 60, 65. Okay. Now, the chemical engineers, material engineers were invited at even at 65 points. Okay. So that's where that is something that happened in last round in Canberra. And the round before that, Canberra did invite applicants for subclass 190 as well. So they have already, as I said, they've already conducted 3 rounds actually for July, and then after rule or after they got seats in September and then in October. Okay. So if you are in Canberra again and you are from these sectors, you should be staying in Canberra and looking forward to 491 or 190. Okay, so that's pretty much a brief summary of what has been happening and what are the latest updates in state nomination criteria. Now I have a question from applicants, and I'll be reading and I'll be applying to those comments basically. Is Australia allowing investment visa? If you mean business visa, so Australia did not allocate any seats this financial year for business investment program. They might open that next year, but for now they are assessing applications that were lodged last year. So Garima has asked that she has ICT BA profile with 95 points in Victoria for 190, but not working. So see, we have seen invitations with this profile where applicants were working and they got preference. Now, the thing is, with this number of seats and the competition you have, I will suggest you, I will recommend you to look for a job, because if competition goes up, you might not get invited. Otherwise, your points are high. It's just that you are missing out on the criteria of working in a skilled field. If you are not working, you are eligible, but you get less preference as compared to other applicants. Okay. I've got a question from Aman. WA invitation round, architect draft person 491 with 70 points. Any chance to get invitation? So Aman, as I said earlier, WA did invite less applicants, basically for 491 in this invitation round. Now, if once they conduct next invitation round, then I'm expecting that they will invite more 491 there. But this round, the problem was that they did not invite many applicants for 491. Okay, but at least that's what we have seen. So because your occupation is in priority field as well, and I can expect you to get invitation soon with this profile, but I will still recommend you to try to increase your points, because if competition goes up, because a lot of people from building construction sector or priority occupations are moving to WA, which can result in increase in competition. So try to get 5 or 10 more points where possible to increase your chance. Suleiman has asked that what are the chances of mechanical engineer with 90 points for 491 for general stream in Perth. So see, we have seen one of the invitations at 95 and 100 points for this occupation for 491. So looking into that, I think you stand good chance, but still try to increase at least 5 points because that's the last invitation that we have seen for our clients. Jacinta, for nursing point stream visa, does my partner need to provide an English competent level? Jacinta, if you want to claim points for your partner skill or partner English, then he needs to have competent English. If your partner does not have competent English, you cannot claim 5 points for your partner's English. Now, if you are reaching out, you are getting required points without his English, he does not necessarily need it, but he will need to prove functional at least functional English for the visa grant, or you'll have to pay department fee or second visa application charge. Sonam has asked that she has an IT degree, 10 years experience in IT from overseas, but currently not working. She's in Perth. Is it okay to apply for 190 and 491? Please advise. So see, Sonam, you have to get your skills assessment. If you have your skills assessment, then I will definitely recommend you to lodge expression of interest for 189, 190, 491, depending on what skills assessment you get. And in Perth, if you get 190 invitation, you will need to provide job contract. So if you have option of getting a job contract, or you are looking for job and you are confident that you might get a job, then go ahead with 190 as well. Otherwise, for 491, you will not. For 491, you will not need job contract, and even for 190, 189, you do not need job contract. So do get your skills assessment, get points, and try to target all the skill visas. Nitesh has asked that they have 90 points for 190 and 85 points for 189 as chemical engineer currently employed in WA. How are the chances? Okay. So see your profile, Nitesh, and if you are working, as per my understanding, it's a very good score. Okay. Especially looking into 190 score. Now, it's just that WA is prioritizing certain occupations. So we have seen that they did invite occupations outside of that priority list, but it might take some time. And by the time, if they are not left with any seats, then you might not get invited. But with this profile, if you're, I think you can have, you will stand a good chance of getting invited. And because you are working in your nominated occupation, I think you'll not find difficult to get job contract as well. So, and see if you can still increase points, because I always advise, if there is an option to increase points, even if it takes 1 month, 2 months, 3 months of hard work, do that, because even 5 points are very important when it comes to getting invitation. Sheikh has asked that he is on 190, he is looking for 190 onshore with 75 points in NSW as value. Now, Sheikh, we are still waiting for NSW invitation rounds to determine where the cutoffs will be. But generally speaking, 75 points are towards lower side. NSW generally prefers applicants with higher points. But keeping in mind that infrastructure is in the priority list, there might be exception to that. Firan Desai has asked that I'm living in NSW, experience is offshore, my occupation is civil engineer technician, my point is 90 in 491. How much chance in WA? So see, WA prefers applicants who are living in WA. Okay. If you are not living in WA, your chances will get reduced significantly. That is something that we have seen in last financial year as well. So if you are if you have 90 points and you move to WA, then I can say your chances will be very high. Living here, of course, your chances get reduced significantly because WA gives preference to someone living in WA. Now, having said that, I will also advise you to wait for NSW to announce, conduct their invitation rounds. You might have good option in NSW because infrastructure is in NSW's priority list as well. Tina has asked that how long does the WA nomination usually takes? I believe you have been invited and you've lodged nomination application. In that case, it takes roughly around 2 to 3 months on average to be processed. Okay, I'll take some questions from Instagram as well. So Karan has asked that one is NSW 190 round happening. Karan, there is no specified date yet. I'm expecting it very soon, maybe next couple of weeks, because they were initially planning to do it in September, which did not go ahead. But I'm expecting it maybe in next couple of weeks. Non-priority occupations do hold a chance. So Karan has asked that non-priority hold a chance for getting NSW 190. I would say yes, because if you have good points and even if you are in non-priority, in my opinion, you will still have reasonable chances of getting invitation. 189 invitation round, there is no update yet. The department, it seems like they are still processing a lot of applications that were lodged last year, and they are trying to meet most of the quota from last year's applications. That is the reason why they did not give enough seats to states as well. WA 190, 491, any civil engineers, any interstate overseas got invited. I have to check with interstate or overseas, but civil engineers did get invited for both subclasses. But generally speaking, they are preferring what I have seen until now, or what have come to our attention is that they are only inviting applicants who are currently living in WA. Mm. 90 points for 491 are worth waiting, or still I should try for 100 with superior English for? I think your question, this is the comment I can read, but depending on which state are you in and which occupation do you have, but irrespective of that, it's always worth increasing points, especially looking into current situation where seats got reduced by 70% for all states and regions. Competition will go up, and the earlier you score better and the earlier you score in white, it will be better for you. For ICT, yes. So Arjit, you have mentioned that you are from ICT and 90 points for 491. Definitely try to increase points, because with ICT competition can go up. So I will definitely suggest you to try for superior English. Maninder, if you are looking for like student visa option, you can reach us and our team can help you with your inquiry. Yes, it is possible. NSW 190 finance manager, current at 90 points. See, it seems hard based on what they have announced now. So I don't expect that, it will be invited with this point, because this kind of profile was getting invited last year, where NSW had a lot more seats than what they have right now. Okay, so I will also take some questions from Okay, so actually, I'll try to answer as many questions as possible. I've received many questions on different channels, so I'm just trying to cover as many as possible within stipulated time. If you still have more questions which do not get answered now, you can email us or you can reach out to your nearest Aussizz Group branch, and one of our registered migration agent or consultants can help you with your inquiry. Now, Tokir, okay, not there are other questions first. So Koshal, so I think we left here. So Koshal has asked that chefs in South Australia. Now, Koshal, it depends where you are, if you are employed, and if you're employed, are you employed in regional or outer regional? Okay. If you are working, then your chances will be good, depending on if you meet all the requirements of South Australia. But generally what we have seen is if you have 1 year experience or so, your chances are good. So Keir, this session is a general session. It's not about Canberra or a particular state. It's more about recent updates and answering your questions basically. Maninder has asked, what are the chances for motor mechanic with 70 points for 189, 75 for 190, 85 for 491, Victoria and WA, currently in Victoria. Better chance, where you recommend? So, Maninder, with this profile, currently my advice is to wait for a few rounds in Victoria, because they just started sending out invitations, and after 2-3 rounds or reasonable size rounds, we can have more data from from Victoria. Now, even if you move to WA right now, it will be kind of similar situation, because WA is not giving WA preference is different as well. Okay, so rather than moving here and there, try to increase points, see where Victoria is going in next couple of rounds, and then try to get high points at the same time. Because if you change state, there is no guarantee, or there is you are not in a critical sector where you can have very high chance of getting invite from a different state. So keep that in mind, that for that reason, stay in Victoria for now. Paulina, what are the chances for early childhood teacher 189, 70, 190? We can apply other states as well, residing in Victoria now. Okay. So, Paulina, you can apply 189. You stand a very good chance based on invitation rounds. Even in last invitation round that was conducted in May, early childhood teachers did get invite at 65 points for 189. Keeping that in mind, your chances of getting 189 invitation are high, as soon as there is another invitation round for 189. 190 and 190 is also, your profile is strong because you have 75 points. So stay there, keep on trying. If you want to apply to different state, you can lodge expression of interest with WA, but you cannot apply to any other states because all of them require you to be living and working there. Jagjit Singh, what assessment we can go with BA and B.Ed apart from teaching with 1 year laboratory manager experience and no working as teacher? So look, BA, B.Ed is a very general degree. Of course, I need more information to give you proper advice. But if you are working as laboratory manager with simple BA, B.Ed, 1 year experience only, you have very less options to get your assessment. And I'll have to see what sort of duties you have, what sort of content you studied in BA. Otherwise, I don't see much options with this profile. Tokir has mentioned that he is accountant living in regional Victoria with 70 points for 491. See, with this profile, I think that chances will be very less based on what Victoria has, like numbers that they have and the priority sectors that they have set. You might consider increasing points, moving to other states, or maybe doing something else which can give you another skills assessment. Shivani, can you clarify the timeline and process of applicants who received invitations in most recent rounds? Time and process, again, Shivani, that is very different. It can change from applicant to applicant. It's not that someone who lodged UI today can get invited tomorrow. They might have to wait 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, or a year. But that all depends on their occupation, their points, and state they are in. So that's why it's not possible to give timeline on all of them. Parambrar, what are the predictions for NSW invitation rounds? I think it will be very soon, maybe in next couple of weeks, but let's see. Ranjit has mentioned 189 processing time, waiting for 9 months. Ranjit, this is, processing times are something, which is for most of the applicants who lodged 189s, they are still waiting. 20%, 25% or 20% have hardly, as per or record, 25%, let's say, have been allocated a case officer or have taken decision. Rest are still waiting. But department is processing applications fairly fast now. So maybe expect something in next couple of months. Muhammad Imran, 70 points for 190 staying in Sydney. Unless and until your occupation is health or a critical one, you'll have less chances for 190, Muhammad. Tashi has asked that aircraft maintenance engineer in the skill list. I have lodged EOI with 64 points and occupation is elect. Okay, sorry. So there are two different queries. So aircraft maintenance engineer. So do you have skills assessment in this occupation? If yes, then I can check that for you. Give me one moment. Yeah, so aircraft maintenance engineer is in the short-term list. So if you, and there is further, it can be in mechanical or avionics, but they both are in the list. Even structures is in the list. So yes, it is in the list, Tashi. I have lodged DUI with 64 points and occupation is electrical engineer. Should I accept? With 64 points, I mean in PTE. So definitely try to increase points. You are close, you can at least get 10 more points. So try to get higher points. Veronica has mentioned that I work as civil draft person in Queensland, applied UI 190 to WA. If I get invited, do I need to have a job offer? Profession is under priority. So for priority, there is currently an exception that you do not need a job contract for priority occupations. Okay, so in that case, no. Zainul Abedin has asked that his experience is offshore. How good are the chances for marketing specialist in Sydney? Look, marketing specialist is not a critical occupation this time in NSW, but if you can get high points such as 90 in 90s, then I believe you'll stand good chance. Mechanical engineer with 70 points in NSW, 190, Muhammad Imran, I believe less chances as of now with this profile. Okay. I'll take some questions from Instagram as well. Sir, for bachelor's, civil construction design or community service? What do you mean, Ali? Like, are you looking for these both courses? Are you planning to enroll in both, or what is it? If you want to go for PR point of view, see, civil is also, both are good options, depending on your interest. Civil engineer has, very good scope in many states in coming days, and community service. So both have their own pros and cons. Civil engineer might take longer, so maybe community service can be a better option for you, but it depends at the end of the day on your interests and what sort of job you can get. But of course, jobs are, civil engineering jobs are highly paid generally in future. So career wise and PR wise, it's good, but quicker and where you can get PR quickly as compared to other is basically community worker. Reb has asked that I've got mechanical engineer. I got mechanical engineer and I think I can get 95 points with 1 year experience. So if you are a mechanical engineer, you can get 95 points. Your chances will be, in my opinion, will be very high to be invited for either state or for 189. I'm a civil engineer, experience of 5 years, IELTS 6 each from India. How much are my chances for 189, 190, 491? Okay, so civil engineer, 5 years experience, 6 each. It depends on how many points you have. If you are, but civil engineer will be generally getting higher preference in all states. So I will advise you to target at least 80 and towards 80 points to increase your chances. Is industrial pharmacist considered health or science sector? Good question, actually. So there is no hard and fast answer to this. Generally, health occupations are the one generally which are assessed by AFRA or where registrations are required. Those are primarily health, but in my opinion, it should be classified more towards health than science. But and that's what we saw in invitation rounds from different states where pharmacists did get invited, especially in Victoria, where they were preferring health occupation and they did invite pharmacists at less occupations. So it depends on state to state as well, at sometimes that which occupation they considered more relevant to their need. Parag, 65 points are not that good, but try to increase your points. And I would say, because you have 5 years experience, try for 190 and 491 in WA, Victoria, NSW, and Queensland, and see if you can get invite for any of those first. But for 189, 190, I believe will be more competitive. ICT project manager, 190, NSW, 85 points. We are still waiting for invitation rounds from NSW, but 85 points this time might be slightly low. For ICT, I'm expecting invitations more of at 90 or higher points, including state points. So Ali has asked that he wants, if he's changing from IT to civil engineering diploma or community service diploma, after diploma is there chance for PR? You have to so Ali, in both the cases, you might not have to do a degree, but do note that after completing diploma of community service, you are not eligible to get a 485 visa because occupation is in the short-term list. If you do civil engineering related advanced diploma, civil engineering draft person occupation is in the long-term list, which means you will be able to get 485 visa through that. Okay. For both, PR chances are good, but civil engineering has is in 3 occupations, it's in the 3 lists, 189, 190, 491, while community service is only there for 190 and 491. So do consider your options accordingly. And if you want to know more, I will definitely advise you to visit us and we can help you with your inquiry further. Deep has asked that I think you don't have answer for Canadian PR. No, we do not deal with Canadian PR from here. So I cannot answer you on that. Thank you. Okay. So coming back to questions on other channels. Janisha Acharya has asked that what are the chances of content in WA for 190 and 491? So see, currently we have not seen a very optimistic trend from WA for accountant occupation, but we did saw invitations for applicants in graduate stream for accountants at 90 points, 85 points around. So which shows that there is, they are inviting accountants. It's not that they are not, but this year competition will be higher. So you have to target points more towards 90 if you want to get invited. Mursaleen, thank you. Mursaleen is my client and he has asked about, a timeline on subclass 190 visa, which has been lodged. So Mursaleen, again, processing times have been changing a lot in last 4 or 5 months. We expect it might take another 1 to 2 months for any further communication from department. Shivani, were there any specific occupations that were prioritized in last round? Shivani, what which state are you referring to? So I'll have to look for that before I can answer. Sunny has said that early childhood teacher 75 points for 190 and 190 for 189 in NSW. What are the chances? I believe you have mentioned 75 for 190 and 70 for 189. Sunny, I believe chances will be good based on the last invitation rounds. So keep staying in NSW and wait for next couple of invitation rounds. Pawan, chef with 75 points. Okay, for 190 and for 189. So 189, they have 75 points, Pawan. What are the chances for getting invited in NSW? Living in regional NSW. So look, chef did get invited 65 points for 189 in December. And then we saw 190 in few 190 invites from NSW as well with same profile that you have. So chances are good, but keep in mind the competition can go up. So if you can increase 5 to 10 points at least, it will be much better. Physiotherapy, 70 points in South Australia. If you are meeting other requirements such as work or high talent, or any of the pathway, or you are a graduate and you are working, your chances will be good. Murtaza has asked that what are the chances for developer programmer at 90 points, including state for NSW? Murtaza, I think 90 points might get invite, but I'm expecting maybe it can go towards more of 95 because you're mentioning including state, which means you have 85 points of your own. So 5 to 10 points having more will be more handy. What are the other options for 485 holder if not getting job for skills assessment for chef? Now that is a very most frequently asked question. Now, again, everyone who is listening or who will listen to it later on, please keep in mind that if you are enrolling in a trade course, you have to first, when choosing trade course, make sure you go for a course where you can work later on as well. Okay. Now, I always advise my clients that if you're choosing a trade, first thing that you should ask yourself is, can you work in that trade? If you cannot work in that trade, there is no point of doing a course in that trade and then ending up nowhere. Okay. Now, unfortunately, in trade, if you want to get assessment, you have to do a job ready program, which means you have to work for 1 year. If you don't get job, you cannot get assessment. And that's the harsh reality. Now, in this case, you will have to look for changing your occupation, or I will still suggest you to try to get a job and complete a job ready program. That will be my first recommendation to you. Sitara has asked that South Australia Graduate Diploma of Community Service, working as disability support worker for 2 years. What are chances for 491? Now, I believe you, if you are SA graduate and you have got skills assessment as well, and you are working for 2 years and your experience is relevant, your chances of getting invite should be good. So do contact us if you like, but because I'm not sure what stage are you in terms of assessment, but your chances should be good to get invite. Saad has asked that what are the chances of accountants 190 in Victoria 195 95 points. Saad, I would say if you're doing a good job, if you are working in related sectors, then your chances will be high. It's more about job in this case. Ranjit 189 processing time waiting from 10 months. Ranjit, I've already answered that. Processing times are not in anyone's control. Maybe but the department is processing applications, but many of the applications or applicants are still waiting in the queue for case to be allocated. How soon can I apply for PR or 190 if I'm holding 482 visa? So Sitara has asked that question. There is no limit. There is no time frame. So if you're on a 482, you can get your assessment, lodge 190 or 189 if you want to go through that. So there is no time frame that you have to meet before you can apply for 189 or 190. Maria has asked that, do you know when SA is going to start? There is no indication, but I expect again that to happen soon because they have already updated their requirements. Okay, so everyone, I have answered most of the questions that I got. Now, because of the time constraint, I will have to basically end the session for today. I'll take one last question from Instagram, and then, basically, I will finish it. So if I submit, I've got a question that if I submit an EOI in NSW, can I submit EOI in another state and still being considered for NSW? Now, NSW requires you to lodge EOI for 190 and select NSW state only in that EOI. If you have lodged EOI at same time with another state and that EOI is different, not that one, then yes, you will still be considered for your original EOI. But if you're selecting multiple states in same EOI, or in those cases, NSW will not accept your EOI and will not issue you invite. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining, and I've tried to answer as many questions as possible for today's session. We'll be doing such sessions almost every week where consultants from different branches will be coming from NSW and will be answering your questions. So if you have any questions, you can ask there, or you can reach out to our nearest branch. My name is Ali Ehsan and I'm registered migration agent. I'm based in Aussizz Group Bankstown office. So if you want to visit me, you can visit here, or if you live in another area, you can reach your closest Aussizz Group branch and one of the migration agents will be happy to help you. So thank you everyone for joining. I wish all of you best of luck, and I hope all of you do get the visas that you are looking for, and we are here to assist you with any of the processes and any help that you need in relation to this. Thank you so much. Bye.